Dr. Umar Johnson, live and direct, backstage, Jamaica Performing Arts Center. I'll be taking the stage in about 30 minutes. I'm going to take a few more questions, then I got to meditate, get my head ready for my message. Come on through. It ain't too late. We out here. King Kong Consciousness.
Hi, Dr. Umar.
Peace and love, beautiful. Where you at in the world?
Well, I'm in Atlanta, but I live in Savannah.
Savannah, Georgia?
Yeah, and I always looked at all your videos and stuff like that. And can you I have dysgraphia. Do you know a lot about dysgraphia?
I'm familiar with it. Are you sure you have it though?
Yeah, because when I was my mom got me tested and stuff. And like I used to write real sloppy and stuff. Like say for instance, I'll have I have to write an essay, and my handwriting will be so messy where I can't can't read it or anything. I can read it, but nobody else can read it. And then when my mom had put me in special ed, but it was for that. It wasn't for like anything else. And what they used to do, because they tried to tell my mom that I need help and stuff like that, and I need extra time. And my mom told me my mom told them that make her write it over. There's nothing wrong with Selena. Just make her write it over and stuff like that. Because they tried to say I was autism and stuff when I was 2.
So
and I wasn't.
Do you have trouble purely with the writing, the quality of your writing? Or do you have trouble processing the thought into the writing?
Yes. Well, they always said my content was there, but like my grammar wasn't. Like it'll be off a lot of grammar errors.
But stay with me though. For you, from your perspective, do you have trouble translating the thought into writing, or do you have trouble just with the writing, with legible writing?
Legible writing.
In other words, I'm trying to say, is it just the writing, or is it the thought transferred into the writing?
I think it's both. Both.
Okay, you think it's both. How old are you?
I am 23.
Okay, you're an adult. You made it. You graduated from high school.
Yeah, and my mom had caught it like when I was like in 1st and 2nd grade. So I did I did therapy with my writing and stuff like that. But they tried to tell my mom it was like it had to do with ADHD and all that stuff. But I never had like trouble not sitting in school. I always paid attention. It was just like I always used to have trouble with my writing and stuff like that, and they couldn't read it. So I did type and stuff, but for me to process things, I still had to write it to get to understand it. Even if I type it, I feel like I had to write it first for me to get it. Just this is how my brain works.
See, here's the thing. If you really have dysgraphia, there's no cure for it because it's neurologically based. But a part of me thinks that some of this is the fact that you didn't master writing skills early on. Like I think you might have needed occupational therapy when you were a child.
I did have that too.
You had, but it may have not been enough occupational therapy or sufficient occupational therapy. But a part of me thinks some of this is due to the fact that you didn't get the OT that you needed. Did you ever have language problems?
I had to do speech when I was in first.
And you had OT. What I think this is, I think it is language processing. I think it is a language impairment. And I think it is an occupational impairment. I don't think you have agraphia. I just think you had 2 problems that were not addressed when they should have been addressed in childhood. And now you bring them together and it looks like it's agraphia, but you follow me, dysgraphia, but it's the 2 separate problems looking like.
Even in college, because I'll go to East Georgia, even in college when I did Comp 1, and I had failed all my papers. And then my teacher was like, Cause he was like, oh, cause your content and stuff was there, like everything was there. It was just little errors and stuff like that. So he made me write my papers over, and I ended up getting A. Cause he said you probably need somebody to correct stuff before you turn it in, because I can't see my own errors. Like when I write, even if I like go over like 30 times, I can't see my mistakes in my writing. So I have to have somebody to look, look at my paper.
Let me ask you this: do you get anybody? Do you get 504 accommodations? Do you get accommodations? You need.
I do. For like,
like
in college.
Extra time, time, like extra time to get your.
Yeah, I get extra time.
Okay.
In college. Yeah, my mom had set that up with the counselor, and that's the only thing I get. I get extra time, and then she was trying to tell them that I need somebody, even if I like, I have anxieties when I take tests too. So I like to take tests in a quiet space or nobody's there, because I'll end up flunking the test. Because my math teacher seen it before. Like I'll end up like taking the test. I know all the answers, and I end up flunking it. But if I take it by myself when nobody's there, I end up passing it. Because I just, I'll get very, thinking about, it's time. And, college is time.
Well, what you might have to do is you may have to get a neurological evaluation. A neurological evaluation from the medical doctor to see, but it hasn't gotten worse, right? It hasn't gotten worse.
It always been. When I had problems with it, but like my mom always been on top of me about my dysgraphia. Like cause my mom is a special ed teacher, but she don't work she worked with the actual, the retardation kid that got, but she used to work in that other department too. But she never accepted. Like the lady told me in fifth grade that, Selena don't need to go to this charter school, because it was a charter school that I got accepted into. She said Selena's gonna be slow. She's not gonna catch up with all the kids and stuff, because I went to Overthorpe, and Overthorpe was the hardest school I ever been to, and she was like, Selena just needs to go to West Chatham or the regular public school. And my mom's like, no, Selena don't need that. Selena is fine. She ain't slow. She ain't dumb. It says she might need time, with her work, but she got it and stuff like that. Because they tried to say there was something wrong with me. And then I passed, top of my class and stuff like that. I was like, but I got through it. But it was just my dysgraphia. And they tried to say I had ADD, but I didn't see that either.
I think that you should get a language assessment, and I think that you might still need occupational therapy. That's what I think. You always want to start with the simplest things first, but it sounds like you're making it. So you got to decide if you really think you need it, because if you've made it this far, you might not really need those.
I was a fighter. I didn't accept, because they tried to say I needed medicine when I was little. And I know I didn't need medicine. Like, even when I was second grade, I know who I was. I always had, I knew who I was. My mom always put that in me. Like, I know who I am. So I didn't need nobody to tell me I was slow and stuff like that. Because kids used to pick on me on my handwriting all the time. But I never let that, take time for my education, because I love my education. I love history, and and I'm starting to love psychology too, because I see what you be doing and stuff like that. And I always wonder about my disability, because nobody really never have that. That's it's real rare.
Well, I want you to keep going, keep up the good work, and hopefully I'll get to see you and your mom when I come to Georgia for the Black Parent Training. We haven't confirmed it yet, but we're working on it. So keep checking back on my pages, Princess, and you'll see that.
Okay.
All right, sweetheart. Take care.
All right. Bye.
All right, yeah.
Bye.
All right. Which dashiki should I wear? I'm talking to the ladies right now. Which dashiki should I wear on stage tonight? Should I wear the blue, the royal blue, or the hot red? I'm talking to the queens right now. Y'all want me to rock the royal blue dashiki straight from Ghana, or the red one straight from Ghana? Which one? Which one? Royal blue or the red? what I'm rocking tonight. Talk to me, ladies. Royal blue or red? Which one I'm rocking tonight? I got 2 blues, 1 red, 3 blues, 1 red, 4 blues, 1 red, 2 reds, 4 blues, 3 reds, 4 blues, 5 blues, 4 reds, 6 blues, 4 reds, 7 blues, 4 red. Y'all like the blue? I thought y'all want the hot red. Another red, another blue, another blue. Blue is winning out. Blue, blue, blue. Y'all like the blue over the hot red? I'm a Leo, so you know I like the blues. I mean, I like the reds. I'm a Leo. But Mama Yemoja is my Orisha mom. So my favorite part of the lectures is taking pictures at the end with all the beautiful queens that come to support Dr. Umar and all the little boys and girls that can't wait to go to the school, and the elders and the, you know, my strong black brothers and my elder babbas. I like taking pictures at the end. That's where I get the love at. You know what I mean? Get the love at. You feel me? So I'm looking forward to taking some pictures tonight with my New York City family after my lecture. Come on through Jamaica Performing Arts Center. You know what I mean? Tickets at the door. Bring the children. Bring everybody. Red. I know I like red. I'm a Leo, so you know we normally do the red. New York City. I'm the president of the New York City NIBPA. Dr. WILMINGTON is president of the New York City chapter of the NIBPA. I need a place in Brooklyn to hold the first meeting. I need a place in Harlem to hold the first meeting. I need a place in the Bronx to hold the first meeting. I need a place in Queens to hold the first meeting. I need a place in Staten Island to hold the first meeting. I am the general, but I need a captain in Brooklyn. I need a captain in the Bronx. I need a captain in Manhattan. I need a captain in Staten Island. I need a captain in Queens. I need a secretary for all 5 boroughs. If you're interested, you need to be in Jamaica right now at the Jamaica Performing Arts Center. But if you can't make it, text my phone. Let me know if you got a place for us to meet in New York. If you don't live in New York and you want to host the NIBPA training, okay, shoot me a text. We still don't have South Carolina. We still don't have Georgia. We still don't have Florida. We don't have Massachusetts, but we're working on it. We don't have Rhode Island. We don't have Milwaukee. Wisconsin ain't on there yet. Idaho not on there. What other states? Wyoming not on there. California, it looks like we might have Oakland. Okay. It's time to get organized. I'm only coming to the state one time to do this training, because next year we're going to have FDMG. I'm only coming one time. You feel me? So y'all need to make it happen. I will be in London in April or May. I'm coming back to London. London, England, UK, Black, Europe, stand up. I will be in London in April or May. Saudi Arabia, January 23rd to the 24th. I will be keynoting the Pan-African Conference in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Okay, who else I got coming up? Saudi Arabia, London. I'm missing somebody. Ghana. I'll be at the fashion show in Ghana. That's going to be coming up real soon. Okay. Milwaukee. I got to get a training location. Ain't nobody got no training locations. Ain't nothing I can do. I got to get the training location. I got to get the training location. I'm going to take a few more questions. Go ahead and tap in. Wait a minute. I'm going to take a few more questions. Go ahead and tap in if you got a question. Deadlifts and coffee. Where deadlifts and coffee at? Deadlifts and coffee.
Hey,
what's your name,
King?
How you doing there, sweetheart?
Christine.
Christine. Deadlifts and coffee, right? Where you at in the world, sister?
I am so honored that you took it. I'm so honored. I've been trying to get you for a minute.
Where you at in the world, beautiful? Where you at? What city?
I'm in Chicago. Originally from Jamaica, raised in Toronto, Canada, moved to Chicago.
Oh, man, okay. Chi-Town is my place. I'm gonna be in Chicago in February for the Black Parent Training.
Oh, really?
Yes,
So I
I'll
will be there.
You got to come through. Got to come through. What's on your mind today, beautiful?
On my mind today is, what is the state of Black men in the U.S.? And I don't want to be so general, but being raised in Canada and being born in Jamaica, I see a difference in terms of Black men and the way they think, the way they treat their women. And I'm wondering, is it by design, or is it because of missing fathers, or what is it? I feel like there's a lot of wounded men out here and women.
All of that. It is the negative messages from hip hop music. It is fatherlessness. It is bitter Black mothers. It is sexual abuse. It is past hurts. It is child support court. It is custody court. It is all that and then some. You know, it is all that. And unfortunately, a lot of Black men don't have other Black men they can trust to talk to. So we keep a lot of stuff inside. And guess who we let it out on? Our women. And that's why we have so much domestic abuse in the Black community, because men are carrying around tons of pain, of pain, and they pour it out in private on their women. And that's why I always say Black women suffer twice, because you have to suffer the abuse, and then you have to suffer the abuse in silence, because you don't want to see your Black men arrested, because they already go through enough as it is. So Black women suffer twice as hard. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Between when our fathers were raised and your father was raised, there seemed to be a difference 30, 40 years ago.
The masculinity is gone. The masculinity is gone. Men are not raised by strong men, nor do they have access to them. You follow me? There are men who come from 5 generations of single mothers. In other words, the great-grandfather was raised by a single mother. The grandfather was raised by a single mother. The father was raised by a single mother. The son was raised by a single mother, and now the grandson is raised by a single mother. You literally have generations of men with no male access for 5 or 6 generations, you see. And there's nothing wrong with the single mothers, so we want to be clear in that. We're just saying that there's no balance. There's no masculine, feminine balance. It's all feminine now, and that's the problem. And unfortunately, the white power structure has weaponized single motherhood against Black men, and with the feminist movement, they're now brainwashing Black women into thinking you don't need a man for your children. The children don't need their father. So you see women calling themselves the father. You see women giving each other Father's Day cards. No woman is a father. That no woman should ever accept the Father's Day card. No woman should ever call themselves a father. You are not a man. You can never be. I am not a woman. I could never be. So that's part of the problem as well.
So do you see a difference in other cultures, like in the Caribbean culture, in Jamaican culture, the men take their roles very seriously, in the African culture. So is it a North American thing, or is it, do you
Well,
see
you got to
that
remember
in
now,
cultures as well?
North America, United Kingdom, and South Africa have the most intense mass incarcerations of Black men in the world.
Oh, wow.
Wherever you get the most intense mass incarceration, you're going to get the most feminine indoctrination of the boys. Wherever, all you got to do is look at the prison rates. Wherever you find the highest per capita Black male incarceration rates, going back 20, 30, 40 years, that's where you will also find the greatest concentration of single mothers and the greatest concentration of Black men who may have a feminine consciousness. Yeah, it's bad. It's
so
very
you're telling me in this day and age, it is impossible to find an alpha male at this point?
No, they're out there. There's a lot of, there's a lot of Black men who are with their children. They're out there. They're out there. You just have to find them. And you can't assume because the dad was there that they're an alpha, because some fathers are not alpha males either. You follow?
Okay.
So the son could still end up being improperly reared by a father who was improperly reared. So, and then sometimes you get a man who was raised by a single mother, but he had access to masculinity. He had access to men who were masculine, and he may still. So single mom doesn't end the deal. You have to see who he had access to, because he may have still had access to men who poured into him the masculine principle, which allowed him to still complete himself.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do we change that? Because it's not getting better. What do we do as a community to change this? Because it's not getting better.
No, it's not. Our 5 major issues: mass incarceration, miseducation. If you don't deal with those, you'll never save the black family. You'll never fix male-female relationships. Until we get the economics and the education together, we'll never fix the relationships, because the problems with black intimacy and romance, a lot of it is impacted by economics. It's impacted by economics. It's hard to make love to your woman if you don't know if you're going to have the rent Friday. You understand? Economics affects everything. You know, there's men who won't go around their children if they don't have any money for their children. You see? So economics, we got to put everything in context. It's not just irresponsible black men. Some are. It's not just black men who don't want to commit. Some are. But a lot of this must be put into the proper economic context.
Right. And what can black women do to encourage our black men? Because they need our help, but I think we're so hurt sometimes we don't know how to give it, because we're still wounded by what happened.
I would say
Is
just
there anything
that.
we could do?
I would say black women do have to encourage their men more, because they don't do it enough.
Right.
And don't judge. I think the judging with the verbal criticism and the lack of support, those are probably the 3 most painful things that a black man has to deal with from a black woman. To not be supported, to be verbally criticized, and then to be judged as being less than who you are. Those 3 things will kill a black man. And a lot of black men are walking away from their families, not because they want to, but they can't put up with the verbal abuse from the woman. They can't do it. And then a lot of women, they have confidentiality issues. Black women have to work on your confidentiality. Your insecurity, and lack of trust is breeding the lack of confidentiality, because y'all always have to tell other women your problems with your man. You have to learn how to fix problems in the relationship. Black women are notorious for violating the confidentiality agreements that they have with black men. And that begins
meaning keeping the problems within the relationship. That's what you mean?
Problems within anything that the 2 of you discuss in private. It could be about your personal life. It could be about his personal life. It could be about the relationship. But you cannot take it outside the relationship without his permission. And y'all have a bad habit of taking your man's business out in the street. You don't do it to hurt him. You don't do it to hurt him, but some of y'all cannot keep your mouth shut. And a lot of men can't put up with women with big mouths. They just can't. And a lot of women are losing good men because they don't have any type of self-discipline when it comes to their mouth. They have to tell their mother. They have to tell their sister. They have to tell their best friend. They have to tell their soror. They have to tell. And once he finds out that you violated that, it may be hard for him to never trust you again. And a lot of relationships are being terminated on the grounds of trust.
Absolutely, I agree. Growing up in a Jamaican household, that's the first thing we learn is your business is your business. And nobody should know what's going on in your relationship.
But the problem
I feel
is,
like,
we live in a social network era, which has turned everybody into an attention whore. The average African American is an attention whore. We need people to know when we go to the bathroom. We need people to know when we pay our bills. We need people to know when we eat lunch. We need people to know when we change our drawers. We need people to know we have become a community of attention whores. And until we disengage from that, the confidentiality piece is going to be tough. It's going to be real tough.
Man, I thank you for that. I needed to hear that. I feel there's hope.
Yes, indeed, Queen. I want to see you in Chicago when I come. I'm going to have the ticket sales up on my website in a couple of days once we confirm the venue. So just make sure you keep checking my Twitter, my Instagram, Facebook, and I want to see you in the building. Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, Queen. I'm gonna get ready to get on this stage. I love y'all. Be blessed.
I love you. Okay.
All right.